Hello students, greetings of the day. So this is the continuation of our fourth unit, that is People's Revolt. So in our previous classes we had learned about the Palayakarar system in Tamil Nadu, and we had also understand about the role of Pulithevar and Kattabomman in the anti-British uprising and the South Indian rebellion, and also the effects of Velur Mutiny. So in this class we are going to learn about the Great Revolt of 1857. So this Great Revolt of 1857, it is an important event in our Indian history. So let us see about the Great Revolt of 1857. So the early uprisings did not succeed in threatening the British in India. It took the revolt of 1857 to bring home to the company, and the British thought that their rule was not accepted to a large section of the population. So the revolt of 1857 was a product of the charter and the policies of colonial rule. The cumulative effect of British expansionist policies, economic exploitation and administrative innovations over the years had adversely affected to the position of all rulers of Indian states. So before that before the Great Revolt of 1857, there are many revolts, that is Velur Mutiny, then the revolt of Kattabomman, like this many revolt it took place in India. Okay, so those revolts, that revolts that does not succeeded. Okay, so it took the revolt of 1857 to bring to the company, and the British thought that, so after the revolt of 1857 only, the British they thought that their rule was not accepted by a large number of population in India. So the revolt of 1857, it was a product of the character and the policies of the colonial rule. So due to the very aggressive policies which was followed by the British collectors and the British governor generals, the revolt of 1857 it took place. So now let us see about the causes for the revolt. So what's the causes for the revolt of 1857? The first one is, the most important cause of the revolt of 1857 was a popular discontent of the British policy of economically exploiting India. This hurt all sections of society. The peasants suffered due to high revenue demands and the strict revenue collection policy. So what's the important cause for the revolt? So the British, they economically exploited India. So this was not liked by most of the peoples in India, that is by all the sections of the people. They have not like this, that is the British, they are exploiting India. Okay, so the peasants suffered due to high revenue demands. The British, they imposed high taxes for the peasants. So due to the high revenue demands, and the British collectors, they used to collect the revenue by strict policy. So this was not liked by the Indians. Next, the policies of doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance and policy of effective control created discontent among the people. Annexation of Oudh proved that even the growling loyalty can't satisfy the British greed for territories. So the British, they followed many policies to capture our Indian territories. So that is the doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance. So these policies were not liked by the people of India. Then the Nawab of Oudh, he remains loyal to the British government, but even the British, they annexed his territories also. So the people were discontented among the British administration. Then the conversion activities of Christian missionaries were looked upon with suspicion and fear. The priests and the Mualis showed their discontent against the British rule. So the British, they used to convert the Hindus and the Muslims as Christians by using their Christian missionaries. So it was opposed by the people in India. Then abolition of practices like sati, female infanticide, support to widow remarriage and female education were seen by many as interference in the Indian culture by the Europeans. So the British, they abolished the practices of sati, female infanticide, and they supported the widow remarriage and female education. But according to Indian culture, the Indians, they thought that the Europeans, they were interfere in their Indian culture. So this was not liked by the Indian people. Then the Indians imposed were looked upon as inferior beings and treated with contempt by the British officers. They were paid much less than the British soldiers. So the European soldiers, they treated the Indian sepoys as inferior to them. The salary given to the Indian soldiers also, it was very minimum than that of the British officers. Then all avenues of promotion were closed to them, as all the higher army posts were reserved for the British only. So the higher posts were not reserved for the Indians. So all the high posts were reserved only for the British. Okay. So this was the main causes for the Great Revolt of 1857. Now let us see about the immediate cause of the revolt. So what's the immediate cause of the revolt? So the immediate cause was the introduction of new Enfield rifles in the army. So the British, they introduced a new type of gun, that is new Enfield rifle in their army. The top of the cartridge of this rifle was to be removed by the mouth before loading it in the rifle. So the cartridges were greased by the fat of pig and cow. The Indian sepoys believed that the British were deliberately attempting to spoil the religion of both the Hindus and the Muslims, because while the Hindus reserved the cow and the Muslims, they hated the pig. The soldiers therefore determined to refuse their service and ultimately revolted. So what's the immediate cause of this revolt? The British, they introduced a new type of Enfield rifle in their army. That rifle has to be the cartridge of this rifle was to be removed by the mouth before loading in the rifle. That cartridge, the outer layer of this cartridge, it was greased by the fat of pig and cow. Okay. So the Indian sepoys, they had believed that the British, they were deliberately attempting to spoil their religion, that is both the Hindus and the Muslims, because the Hindus, they pray the cow. Okay, they revered the cow, and the Muslims, they used to hate the pig. So both the Hindus and the Muslim sepoys in the army, they refused to use this cartridge. So thus the primary and immediate cause of the revolt was the use of greased cartridges. Next, outbreak of the revolt. On 29th March 1857 at Barakpur, Mangal Pandey, a young sepoy from Bengal regiment, he refused to use the greased cartridge and shot down his sergeant. He was arrested, tried and executed. When this news spread, many sepoys revolted. So on 29th March 1857 at Barakpur, Mangal Pandey, he is a Brahmin sepoy. He refused to use this cartridge. So his higher officer, he forced to use him, but Mangal Pandey, he shot him dead. So for this prosecution, Mangal Pandey was arrested and he was tried and he was executed. That is, he was sentenced to death. So when this news spread among all the sepoys, they began to revolt against the British. So in this map, you can see the places of the Great Revolt of 1857. That is Delhi, Meerut, Gwalior, Agra. This was the places where the Great Revolt of 1857 took place. You can see this map. Next, course of the revolt. On 10th May 1857, the sepoys of the 3rd Cavalry at Meerut openly revolted by swarming the prisons and releasing their comrades. They were immediately joined by men of 11th and 20th Native Infantries, and they murdered some English officers and they marched to Delhi. On 10th May 1857, the sepoys, they released all their commanders from the prison, and they joined with the men of 11th and 12th Native Infantries, and this revolt is, they murdered their English officers also. Okay. Then after murdering them, they reached Delhi. The arrival of Meerut sepoys at Delhi on 11th May and declared of Bahadur Shah II as the Emperor of India. So after the arrival of this Meerut sepoys to Delhi, they declared Bahadur Shah II as the Emperor of India. Then Delhi became the center of the Great Revolt and Bahadur Shah was its symbol. The revolt spread quickly. Then there were mutinies at this Great Revolt. It spread quickly among most of the places. And what are the places where the mutinies happens means Lucknow, Kanpur, Jhansi, Bareilly, Bihar, Faizabad and many other places in North India. So many of them found that it was a good opportunity to burn the papers of their landlords. Many others, whose titles and pensions were abolished by the British, who participated in it. So most of the people, they thought that this was a good opportunity to burn the papers which they signed to their landlords. Then some people whose titles and pensions was abolished, that is stopped by the British, that those members also they participated in this revolt in order to revenge the British. Then the Muslim leaders and the Maulvis sought the opportunity of establishing the Muslim rule in India after the turning out of British. So the Muslim leaders and the Maulvis, they think that this is an opportunity for them to establish the Muslim rule in India after sending the British out of the India. Okay. So next you can see the places of the revolt, Indian leaders and British officials who suppressed the revolt. Okay. So the revolt, it took place in Delhi. So in that revolt, who was the leader? Bahadur Shah II was the leader. Then the British officer who suppressed this revolt, that is John Nicholson. Then Lucknow, it was leadership by Begum Azad Mahal and it was suppressed by Henry Lawrence. Then in Kanpur, the revolt was taken by the Nana Sahib and it was stopped by Sir Colin Campbell. Then Jhansi and Gwalior, this it was leadership by Lakshmi Bai and Tantia Top. It was suppressed by General Haq Rose. Then in Bareilly, the revolt was headed by Khan Bahadur Khan and it was stopped by Sir Colin Campbell. Then in Bihar, the revolt was headed by Kunwar Singh and it was suppressed by William Taylor. So next one, suppression of the revolt. So how the British they suppressed this revolt? So Lord Canning, the Governor General, took immediate steps to suppress the revolt. He collected the forces of Madras, Bombay, Sri Lanka and Burma. On his own initiative, he called the British army, which was deputed to China by Britain, to Calcutta. So Lord Canning, he is the Governor General at the time. He took many steps to stop this revolt. First, he collected the forces from Madras, Bombay, Sri Lanka and Burma. Then after that, he called off his British army from China. Then he ordered the loyal Sikh army to proceed to Delhi immediately. The British regained their lost positions very soon. So the British they regained their positions which was lost to the revolts very immediately. So Delhi was recaptured by General John Nicholson on 20th September 1857 and deposition of Bahadur Shah again at Rangoon, and he was died in 1862. So the Delhi, it was soon recaptured by General John Nicholson in 20th September 1857 and the ruler Bahadur Shah II, he was sentenced to Rangoon and there he died in 1862. Then the military operations with the recovery of Kanpur was closely associated with the recovery of Lucknow. Sir Colin Campbell occupied Kanpur. Then Nana Sahib, he was defeated at Kanpur. And then after the defeat, Nana Sahib, he tried to escape to Nepal. His close associate, Tantia Top, escaped to central India and he was captured and put to death while asleep. Okay. So Nana Sahib, he escaped to Nepal and his close friend, Tantia Top, he escaped to central India, but he was captured and put to death by the British. Then the Rani of Jhansi had died in the battlefield and Kunwar Singh, Khan Bahadur Khan were all dead while the Begum of Awadh was compelled to hide in Nepal. So the revolt was finally suppressed by the British. By the end of 1859, the British authority over India was fully re-established. So the British, they suppressed the revolt which took place in 1857. Then causes for the failure of the revolt. So we have already known that the British, they had suppressed the revolt. So what's the causes for the failure of this revolt? So lack of organization. So lack of organization, discipline, common plan of action, centralized leadership, modern weapons and techniques. Then the rebel leaders, they were not matched to the British leaders. So Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tantia Top and Nana Sahib, they were courageous, but they were not equal to the British generals. Then not participation of Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Western Punjab and Rajputana. So the Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Western Punjab, Rajputna, these places they have not participated in this revolt. This was also a cause for the failure of the revolt. Then the modern educated Indians did not support the revolts as they believed that only British rule could reform Indian society and modernize it. So most of the educated Indians, they had not supported the Great Revolt of 1857 because they believed that only the British rule could give them the change the Indian society as modern. Then the British managed to get the loyalty of the Sikhs, Afghans and Gurkha regiments. The Gurkhas actually helped the British in suppressing the revolt. So the British, they got help from Sikhs, Afghans and the Gurkhas. Then the British had better weapons, better generals and good organization skill than our Indian leaders. So these are all the main causes for the failure of the revolt. Next, consequences of the revolt. So what's the consequences of the revolt? So the revolt of 1857, it marked a turning point in the Indian history. Even though this great revolt of 1857, it leads to failure, it made a turning point in our Indian history. It led to the changes in the system of administration and the policy of the government. So the administration of India was transferred from East India Company to the British Crown through the Queen's proclamation in 1858. So before the Great Revolt of 1857, India was ruled by the British East India Company. The company members only, they administered India. Then after the revolt of 1857, the administration of India was directly, it came under the control of British Queen, that is Queen Victoria. So Queen Victoria, she issued a proclamation in 1858. Then the Governor General was given the title of Viceroy. So before there is a posting as the Governor General of India. Then after the revolt of 1857, the Governor General title was given up, abolished, and the new title, that is Viceroy of India, was given. So Viceroy means representative, that is he is the representative of the British Crown. Okay. Next, Board of Directors. So the Board of Directors and the Board of Control were replaced by the Council of 15 members headed by the Secretary of State to supervise the Indian affairs. So the East India Company, they had established Board of Directors and Board of Control. This was replaced and the Secretary of the State was organized with the Council of 15 members in order to supervise the Indian affairs. Then the Indian army was thoroughly reorganized and more Britishers were employed in the army. The British military policy came to dominated by the idea of divide and counterpoise. So this was the consequences of the revolt. So in fact, the revolt of 1857 played an important role in bringing the Indian people together and imparting them consciousness of belonging to one country. So this revolt, it makes the Indians to think that is we are the people of a single country. So the revolt paved the way for the rise of modern nation movement. Then it was at the beginning of the 20th century that the 1857 revolt came to be interpreted as a planned war of national independence by V.D. Savarkar in his book. That is, this revolt was also known as the first war of Indian independence. Okay. Have you understood, students? Yes. So your today's assignment is you have to get an India river map and you have to mark the places of the revolt. Okay. So you have to do this map 5 times and send it to me in the classroom map. You have to mark all the places of the revolt. So this is your assignment today. Okay. Thank you, students.